Hey guys, Karibo Bros here, still at the Liverpool Regional 2020. Today we're with Tom Russell. Now, Tom, what did you play?
I played pure Mathmech.
Pure Mathmech, right. So, what was your result?
This is my first regional as well. I came 27th out of 79, which was a 4-3 win ratio.
Right, so not the best results, but it's with Mathmech, that's the important thing.
Yeah, and not bad for my first regional as well.
So
I'm surprised I did as well as I did.
Yeah, the point is you went on a positive ratio with Mathmech.
Yes, with Mathmech.
And Mathmech, and we can use this as filler content for the channel.
Exactly.
Right, so go on, walk us through the deck, explain why you're playing it, and
start with the main first.
Yeah, just explain your ratios.
Okay, first of all, you do 3 addition, 3 subtraction.
Right.
These guys are essentially the same monster.
Okay.
You target a monster on the field, it can be yours or your opponent's, and special summon them. And then the targeted monster, if it was addition, gains 1,000. If it's subtraction, they lose 1,000.
So subtraction's the better card?
Depends.
Okay.
Because if you want to boost up your own monster, you'll summon addition. And after that,
oh, you can boost up your own, it doesn't have to just be your
opponent's. After that, you are then also locked into Cyburst. So that's why most of the extra deck is also Cyburst. So that's those two. These are 3 odds. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. 3, no more, no less. I've seen deck profiles that run 2 of these guys.
Oh, that's
anyone
sacrilegious.
that runs that is incorrect. You need them to combo off. More 3 offs. Mathmech Sigma. He's a tuner. All Mathmech main monsters are at level 4. If you're using him as synchros material for a Mathmech monster, you can treat him as a non-tuner if you wish. And if you have nothing in the extra monster zone, you can special summon him from either the grave or the hand. But if you do, he's banished.
At the end, when he leaves.
When he leaves the field. Again, 3 of, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He is a combo piece. You need him. Now, the other tuner, Mathmech Nabla. You can, again, he's level 4. You can tribute the Cyburst monster to special summon another Mathmech from your deck. That is part of the main combo that you go off on. And if he's sent to the grave, you can target one of your monsters in the extra monster zone, I think it is. Target a Cyburst you control specifically that's in the extra monster zone, and then that monster can make 2 attacks on monsters specifically in the battle.
So that's how you push the game.
So basically that's how you push the game.
So it's important to emphasise this deck is a going second deck, is it?
It is a going second OTK deck.
Right.
Then now for the 2 offs. Go 2 multiplication, 2 division.
Okay.
Multiplication is part of the combo that you use with Nabla. You generally summon him off of Nabla's effect. He has an effect that lets you target a level 4 Cyburst monster and make it level 8. So basically, you summon this, you summon him with him, and then make one or the other level 12 synchro into the boss monster. And when multiplication is sent to the grave, you can target another Cyburst in the extra monster zone and double its attack. So you make your boss monster, make him as big as you possibly can, and then poke your opponent for game. Division, and multiplication is also, I'd say definitely a 2 of. 3 is too bricky because he's a bit of a brick, but you want more of them, 1 of him. Division, I'm torn on as to whether it should be a 1 of or a 2 of. It's a bit iffy to banish it off Desires, which I am also running, because you kind of want it in your deck, but 3 is a brick again. So 2 is, I guess, a decent middle ground, but I usually do side one of them out. But if you want his effect, that never really actually came up today. You can tribute a Cyburst that you control in the extra monster zone, and special summon either up to 1 level 4 Cyburst monster from your grave and hand. So that should help you usually to get material on the board to make one of the Xyz monsters. And if he goes to the grave, you can make one monster on the field half its attack. So once again, another part of the OTK combo. That's all of the Mathmech monsters. Now into
the extenders.
Balancer Lord, 3 of again. He is probably one of the best cards in the deck. You can pay 1,000 life points to gain an additional normal summon.
He doesn't need to be on the field for that to resolve either, does he?
No, he doesn't. As soon as you pay the 1,000, as long as your opponent hasn't negated it, you have the additional normal summon. And if he is banished, you can special summon a monster from your hand as well. So
Cyburst monster or a monster?
Specifically a Cyburst monster. A special any level 4 monster.
Oh, okay.
So it just has to be a Cyburst. And most of the time though, I actually it didn't actually hurt that much if my opponent was to negate his effect, because most of the time, if the rest of the combo doesn't get negated, you end up specialing the monsters in your hand anyway. So the normal, it's nice to have just in case. But he is part of one of the main opening combos. You banish after you've made the combo. You have Cyber's Wicked and a Link Karibo. When you summon the Link Karibo, you banish him for cost, and then let you sub special from your hand with the Wicked's effect. We'll get onto that. Now, onto the going second big boys: 2 Nibiru and 2 Gamma-Seal.
So why 2 Nibiru and why 2 Gamma? Why not 3 of 1?
I was really considering going 3 of 1 of them at very least. I even at one point, while I was racking my brain for the side deck last night, was actually considering siding the 3rd copy of each of these.
Right.
But with the meta being the way it is at the moment, there's a new set coming out and the meta is so fresh at the moment, it's difficult to decide what you want to side. So I figured 3 of might be a bit bricky, so I'll just keep them with the 2-2 ratio. So.
And how did that work out for you today? Have you, by any chance, did you use Nibiru, give them a really fat token, then have to card you the token?
That came up once, I think, actually, yeah, but that was the game plan, basically. Right. Give them a fat token, but it doesn't matter because I've got the Gamma-Seal in the hand, so I'll just Gamma-Seal it, and it'll be fine. So, literally half the time is making a Gamma-Seal, giving your opponent the Gamma-Seal, halving its attack to 1100, and poking your opponent the game with your own monster on their board. It's very, very nice. That's all the monsters.
Monster heavy deck then, or?
1, 2, 3, 4. 23 monsters.
Oh, okay.
So, over half of it. Now onto the spells. Self-explanatory, 3-sided mining.
Yeah.
Cyber's deck, it's a search card.
Just plus, yeah?
Yeah, plus.
Most expensive card in the deck?
Not quite. It's almost tying it with one of the extra deck monsters. 3 copies of Billion Blade Nayuta.
Right, okay.
That is also another part of the OTK combo. You won't necessarily always OTK your opponent without this, but this almost guarantees it. So
is there a way to search this, I'm assuming?
There is plenty of ways to search it, but I want to make sure I have it in hand, which is why I want 3. Try and get my the OTK combo as soon as possible, so I can use the search effects to search for other pieces, just in case.
So of the 7 rounds you played today, how many games in those rounds did you OTK? Was it quite consistent, or?
Semi. I'd say I didn't OTK as much as I would have liked, but I did take off a fair chunk of my opponent's life points, quite a lot, even if it didn't win me the game. But basically, in damage calculation, the monster that this is equipped to, you can send a Mathmech from your deck to the grave, and then the equipped monster gains that monster's attack, even if this leaves the field as well, which is good. And then what you'll basically do is usually you'll send Division, make your big monster gain 1500 attack, and then use Division's effect to half. So then usually you've got a final Sigma with 7500 attack, and then your opponent with whatever their attack is halved, which is half the OTK combo. And if it leaves the field, you can add a Mathmech card from your graveyard to your hand except itself. 2 Mathmech Equation, basically a monster reborn for the deck. Unfortunately it targets, but whatever you special summon off of it, it gains 1000 attack. Now, it is searchable, and I have seen a lot of profiles myself that use 1, but to a degree, you kind of want to see it to get some of your combos off. 2 worked out quite well, I'd say, for myself. And then, this is the most controversial decision to me, because I hate doing this. 3 Desires.
You don't hate it, but the math says you have to do it.
Ironically, the math says that I have to do it, but I almost always have bad luck with this card. I usually draw it off itself and don't banish it off itself. One point in locals, I ended up actually drawing all 3 copies of this in my opening hand, round 1. I was not having a good time that day, but it says draw 2. So
yeah, we have to play draw 2.
You have to.
And the math says you have to play 3.
And the math says you have to play 3. 3 Call by the Grave, combos, hand traps. You want your combos to go through, self-explanatory.
What do you not want to be hit the most in this deck? Is it I'm assuming it's not the Balancer Lord?
Balancer Lord doesn't really matter, no. Usually if I'm trying to get the Nabbler effect off to get the OTK going, that usually really stings. But if I've got a few more combo pieces in hand, it might not matter. Like if I've got Nabla on board and I try to summon multiplication from the deck. But if I've got an addition and or a subtraction in hand, or maybe even a sigma in hand, I can make 3 bodies to make final sigma the old-fashioned way without multiplication's effect. Then finally on the traps, 3 infinite impermanence, self-explanatory, best card.
Yep.
Best card in most decks, in fact. And then 1 copy of Mathmech Superfactorial.
Okay, what is this?
It's the Mathmech trap. There is another Mathmech trap, but it's not very good.
So this is the relevant trap?
This is the only relevant trap, yeah. I was running 2 with the... This is a 41 card deck. I was running 2 making it a 42 card deck, but it's a bit bricky, and it is searchable. I never went into this.
Okay.
So part of me is considering taking it out, but it's kind of relevant to the way the deck runs. You can target up to 3 Mathmechs in your grave, and with different names, and special summon them, and then immediately after the effect resolves, you can either synchro with them, but if you synchro, they go back to the deck, or you can exceed with them. So the general idea would be to, on your opponent's turn, flip this, special summon 3 Mathmechs from your graveyard, and then go into this. I also never went into this myself.
Okay. And this is a one-off for this?
It was a one-off for me. I in some previous build I was running 2, but 1 seems fine since I'm only running 1 copy of the trap. Basically, you use this to make this and trish your opponent on their turn.
Okay.
I'll go into that in the extra deck in a minute. So that's the main deck. Extra deck. Link Disciple, Link Devotee, Link Karibo, and Wicked. That's basically one of your opening combos. So usually you'll have 2 bodies on board, link 1 off into Disciple, link 1 off into Devotee, and then use Devotee to make to get a +1 off Disciple's effect, and then summon 2 tokens to make this and this. This will then let you add a tuner to your hand. Usually, I like to, if you've gone Balancer Lord, you go into this, because then when you summon the Link Karibo next to its link, you'll get its effect off. Banish the Balancer Lord, add a tuner to your hand, and then Balancer Lord's banish effect, that's why that's important. You then get to special summon that same tuner that you just searched, which is why it's nice to have Balancer Lord's normal summon, the additional one, but it's not necessary, because usually the card that you would normal summon, you're going to special. So if this gets negated, you then at very least have, if that Balancer Lord gets negated somehow, you at very least have the additional normal to get the body on the board straight away. So they're part of the opening combo. But sometimes, if I don't have Balancer Lord, I'll use the tokens underneath Disciple to go into Masquerader. So then, self-explanatory, one of the best cards in the game right now, especially last format with Orcust, the boards that they can make. But literally, you just
make a bit of interruption,
link them off into either of these 2. You can't really make them on your own turn, depending, because you're not locked into Cyberse, but you're not locked into Cyberse on your opponent's turn, so it doesn't matter. You usually make these, depending on the situation. Back row removal, ban something. Self-explanatory. Everybody knows what they do. Now I also run a single Avramax.
Do you make this much?
I've never made it.
Okay.
So I'm not entirely sure exactly how I would make it, but it's nice to have. It's Cyberse, it's a big boy. I might end up taking it out.
Appaloosa? Oh no, you get locked into Cyberse.
It's into Cyberse, yeah. So I'm not entirely sure how relevant it is.
Well, clearly not if you've not made it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm probably might end up taking it out. Now onto the synchros. Play 2 copies of the boss monster, Final Sigma.
Yep.
And 2 copies of his baby brother, Magma. Magma, he's okay. I made him once today. He's not nowhere near as good as Final Sigma, but if you destroy something by battle, you can pop 2 cards on your opponent's field, which is very good. And if he leaves the field, remind myself, if he leaves the field, he's destroyed by card effect or battle. You can add a Mathmech spell or trap from deck to hand. So basically, you can use it to search. You can search anything with it. You can search the equation. You can search the Billion Blade, the trap, whatever you want. So he's not bad, and he's also a tuner, so you can use another body to go into Final Sigma if you need to. Like for example, if he gets destroyed by battle, search the equation, then on your next turn make him with the equation, and then make the Final Sigma again. And then Final Sigma himself, the big daddy of the deck. He is the OTK machine. If he's in the extra monster zone, he's unaffected by card effects.
So
except Mathmech cards.
we can't sword forfeit, and we can't.
You can't super poly it.
Yeah.
You can't. There's a lot you can't do today. I played against Infernoids earlier, and he was running a Layer of Darkness engine, and he tried to tribute it using Layer of Darkness and something else, but the judge ruled it that apparently he could tribute it if the effect was relevant, but the Layer of Darkness couldn't make it a dark. So by that, he was unaffected and he couldn't tribute it, and it just stayed on the board. Again, also if he's in the extra monster zone, if he battles monsters specifically, he cannot do this if he's attacking directly. If he attacks monsters specifically, he deals double damage, which is part of the OTK. And if he leaves the field, you can add a Mathmech card, any Mathmech card, from deck to hand. So if your opponent does out it somehow,
you get a recovery.
You get a recovery. And then onto the Xyz monsters. As I showed off before, one copy of Laplacian, one's fine. One's fine. You can trick your opponent on their own turn. You can attach up to 3 materials from it. You need 3 materials to make it, and you can attach as many as you want, up to 3. You can detach 1 material from it to protect something on the board. But you can attach up to, as I say, you can attach up to 3 materials from it, and then in the following order, depending on how many you detach, you can ascend a random card. You can send one monster your opponent controls. So you can send a random card in your opponent's hand to the grave, then a monster on their board to the grave, and then a spell or trap on the board to the grave. So effectively, you can trick
semi-trish, basically.
Lastly, this is the money card of the deck, aside from Cynet Mining. 2 copies of Mathmech Alan Bershon. Most people I've seen running 1 of him, but just in case the deck somehow gets a bit grindy, the game gets a bit grindy, I figure 2 might be a better option, so you can just make it again. When he's summoned, you can attach 2, 3, or 4 materials from him, depending on how many you've used to make him, to activate various effects. He has another effect where you contribute a monster to special...
Do you get each effect? So if you detach 4, do you get the second, third, and
no, you only get 1 effect.
Okay.
So I'll go through those effects first. If you detach them 2, you can add a Mathmech card from deck to hand, any card. If you detach 3, you can add any level 4 monster from deck to hand. They're all level 3. Not level 3, they're all level 4. And the last effect, you can detach 4 materials to search any spell or trap to your hand, to get from your deck to your hand. Previous format, I was siding Floodgates, and basically the general idea was if you can make this against certain decks, so like I sided Anti-Spell Fragrance against Pendulum, side it in, search it off this guy, set it, and profit. But if you're making 4 materials, there are better things you can go into. So it's most of the time you're going to go off the first effect to add 2, to detach 2 materials and add a Mathmech card. And another effect, you contribute any monster to special summon a level 4 or lower Mathmech card from your graveyard or hand, which comes helpful with part of the combos to get pieces off.
Nice. Right, given that we're on 18 minutes, we'll quickly fly through the side.
Quickly fly through the side. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just more content in it.
Yeah. 3 draw.
Yeah, brilliant hand drop.
Was expecting lots of Spiral, and it came in clutch. I won 1 game against Spiral and lost 1 against the other. This basically won me the game on against the other one that I won. 3 Lancia, Orcost.
Now, how did this do today?
It did really well.
Okay.
It basically won me the game against Orcost.
Did you shotgun this straight away in their turn, or did you wait a bit?
I shotgunned it straight away, immediately in the standby phase. But yeah, it won me the game against Orcus basically, and I sided it in against Dinos. It did halt him a little bit, but he did beat me in the end. So it worked, but not as well as it should have done. So there's Lancia. I was expecting a lot of back row with Red Reboot going to 1. So Twin Twisters.
Yep.
Just 3 off. I was running Cyclone as well. As I said, I was really stuck with side deck last night. I was running 3 Cyclone, but I took them out. Just Twin Twisters just get rid of more. So. And then I sided this in against Spiral as well, expecting it to go off, but I never actually used it. 3 Dark Ruler no more. And also 3 evenly matched. I never actually went into evenly at all.
Did you side it in at all?
I sided it in and then took it out before I fully committed to the side.
Fair play. So evenly matched be getting taken out, mainly because you need the battle phase?
Yeah, that's the whole problem with these. While they would clear my opponent's board effectively and help me set up mine, that evenly matched denies me the battle phase Dark Ruler No More denies me damage.
Yeah.
So they both would effectively let me clear the board, especially if I make a final Sigma that can attack twice.
So what would you maybe take these out for? Another copy of Gamma Seal, another copy of
Maybe another
Nibiru?
copy for the Gamma Seal and the Nibiru, but then with that, I'm not really sure what I'd make for my 15th card. So that could work, but it really depends on how the meta shifts. But the whole point, reason as to how these deny me damage or the battle phase really hurts this decision. So maybe not. So
Right, so if we move them out the way a second. So we played Mathmech, thoughts on the deck, it's a fun deck.
it's a really fun deck. Going second OTK deck. I came 27th out of 49. That was a 4-3 win ratio. I'm surprised that I did as well as I did, but I had fun. I enjoyed the deck,
And that was the point of
and
today.
that's the point of today. And it's not bad for my first regionals as well.
There we are. Thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more content.